Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to Cutting Up with the Crawfords. I'm your host, Dari Crawford, and this is my handsome, manly husband, Derrick Crawford. I think one introduction, I said my lovely husband, and after we got off, he was like, lovely.
Lovely.
He's handsome, manly, just
Rugged. I'm a
rugged
man.
man.
I'm all man. I'm a
It's a
rugged
good
man.
man,
It's a
Savannah.
good man, Savannah.
Yo, today we are talking about me.
Did I get fired as the host? Hold
You
on.
did.
I thought I was supposed to be the host.
Yeah. We're talking about me.
Wow.
And not I'm going to tell you my story.
Host one time and I get fired.
Fired. But we're talking about having ADHD and being diagnosed later in
You
life.
about to go to HGTV.
Yeah, I was being diagnosed later in
ADHD.
life and what that means, how we got here, and yeah,
So this is all new for you, right?
this is all new. Let's cut it up.
So cut it up. Where did this come from?
Cut it. Cut it.
Sorry.
This life is way too good. You need to cut it and throw in some ADHD. So
So yeah, when did you first start thinking you had HD?
HGTV, ADHD.
Yes, ADHD.
I kind of like, I know you've heard us on the podcast many times jokingly saying like Derrick has ADHD. He's never been diagnosed. I diagnosed him. And also he's like self-diagnosed. No, I'm the real deal Holyfield diagnosed as ADHD. And this came about in 2025.
Last month when we were off.
Yeah. So this is like new.
But I think it's important to talk about.
It is important to talk about. It's new.
So what made you?
How did I get here?
Yeah, how did we get here?
Okay, so I left a job that I held for quite some time.
7.5 years.
Yeah. I knew that that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to leave. God had
Called you away.
called me away. We prayed about it. Home group prayed about it.
Hasn't been easy.
It has not been easy. But I knew that we needed to be obedient, and that's what I needed to do. However, I did not know that it was going to be as emotional as it was. I didn't know that I was going to feel like...
Why is it emotional? What's the emotions you feel?
Like I'm inadequate, less than. I've always worked, whether I did something from home or in person. I've always worked. So that's been different to not be working for the past couple months.
But was it emotion? I mean, I thought some of the emotion was because you liked your job. You
Yes.
what you
So
were doing.
that's what I was
You
getting
like what
to.
you're- okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
that's why I'm the host. So getting to, it was super emotional, just not working like I'm used to, where I felt I probably idolized a little bit. So, yeah. And then I loved my job.
I know about idolizing a job.
Yeah, I loved my job. I just felt like it no longer aligned with who I am. I didn't realize that would be emotional. I didn't realize that I would get questions from people is like, "Oh, why'd you leave? What are you doing now?" And it's like, I'm not doing anything now. I'm not making any money at the moment. And people kind of like turn their nose up. So that made me feel less than and also like inadequate.
I think some people do that because they don't know what you've been praying about.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
You know, we got to stop assuming that we know how to make the best decision for everybody else when we don't even know all what's going on in their life.
They don't. Yeah.
other than, hey,
That's facts.
the only question they should ask, hey, did you pray about that? Yes. Did God lead you to that answer?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
I'm praying for
Yes.
what are you praying about what's next? Yes. Can I pray with you? Yes.
So that is another thing. It's like, that's another question is what's next? What's next? What's next? And I'm like, let me just sit in this for a minute. So I was thinking that I would just get right back out there and really start working. And I am still working with one speaker, Richie Parker, which he's been amazing. So we are getting him ramped up to get engagement. So yes, if you need a keynote speaker, he's your man. But I thought like I would be super busy. I would get up and I would be in my same routine and working Monday through Thursday and blah, blah, blah. And no. And that was super emotional. I didn't know what to do with that. I didn't know how to process it. Like I was having a lot of low moments, a lot of intrusive thoughts. And I just felt the enemy was really louder than what God was in my head.
If the enemy was coming to attack you like that, then one or two things. Whatever's next is going to be huge for the kingdom. We always want to say huge like for our pocketbooks. Who cares?
Babe, is your phone ringing?
It's all about, no?
Dude, your phone's ringing.
My phone is not ringing. Oh.
Do they know that we're podcasting?
Oh, it was ringing. It wasn't ringing on my watch.
Answer it and tell them we're on a podcast.
It was actually church giving the courtesy call that they give every Saturday night, reminding us that we have church tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going. It's like, dog, turn your phone on airplane mode.
I didn't feel it.
Anyway, I heard it.
Yeah.
What was your question? That's what ADHD is, right? Like I can walk into a room and not remember why I even went in there. Anyway, so back up. The intrusive thoughts were...
I think I was saying something profound.
You were not. The intrusive thoughts were really taking over. I felt like the enemy's voice was louder than God's voice in my head. And I went to therapy. And I was like, I talked to my therapist and we had a couple like intensive therapy sessions. And we both decided that I should see a psychiatrist. And so then I talked to my primary care physician. I ended up having another appointment with my therapist. And then I went and had an appointment with a psychiatrist. I got a referral from my primary care physician to my psychiatrist. So long story short, my psychiatrist is phenomenal. I got to talk to her about everything that I was like going through, processing through what was going through my head, and what I was feeling in my heart at that moment. And she was like, hey, let's do an assessment. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. So I'm like, okay. She asked me questions. I answered. Then I had to do another assessment that I had to write things down, answer all these questions and send it back. And so before I got to the second assessment, she was like, you really show, not kind of, but really show some symptoms of ADHD. And I was like, okay. And I said, we talked about how I have anxiety, how I have spurts of depression. And she's like, ADHD will present itself as anxiety and depression. So I could potentially be treating the wrong thing. And as she was talking to me, I was just like, oh my gosh.
So what is ADHD?
This is I opening. It's, let me pull out my chat and
Yeah,
get
but
you.
you've been deep diving.
I really have.
So what is it? You don't need chat.
I don't remember the proper
We
term.
don't need the proper name. What is
It's
it?
I do remember this. All right, it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So
But what is it?
it's just my brain doesn't turn off. Like that's the proper name for it. I don't see myself, and she was saying also I don't present myself as being like hyper active or anything like that. We were able to talk about childhood, growing up, and then adulthood and things like that. So I can get into all that, like how the questions and she was saying to me and my answers and that type of thing. What else you got for me? You want me to talk about that now?
Well, we're trying to get how you got to.
How I got here.
Yeah, how you got here. So what did the doctor say?
So goofy. Yeah, she said, "Hey, I want to treat you for ADHD. Stay on your anxiety medicine for now, and we'll slowly start to wean you off of that. And I think it's just ADHD." So started the medication. Feel night and day.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sleeping better.
Somebody get me on some medicine.
Sleeping
Bro.
better.
4:30 every morning.
So I want to tell y'all.
4:30.
So, well, one thing that was going on. So again, I'm processing, super emotional, not working, trying to control all the things that I can, feeling like I wanted to just control anything and everything, like my children, my husband, and one passage that really stuck out to me, scripture that stuck out to me was that I have been holding like really the past couple months is in First Samuel. And I'll set the scene. This is where Hannah and Peninnah are in this scripture, in this chapter, and Hannah is married and she wants to have children and her womb is barren. She can't have children. Well, Peninnah can have children. And yeah,
Is Peninnah throwing shade?
Yeah, she's throwing shade.
I got stretch marks and you don't.
Goofy. Yeah, she's throwing shade and
I have postpartum depression and you don't.
right. It's like those are not things that you want to.
But that's probably what she was doing. But she was having
And as
kids.
I was processing through that, so this is First Samuel chapter 1 verse 11, and it says, this is ESV, and she vowed a vow and said, "O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your servant and remember me and not forget your servant, but will give your servant a son, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall touch his head." Now, that is Hannah talking. And she's asking the Lord for a son. Now, remember that her womb is barren. She cannot have kids, right? Like, the Lord can open her womb. The Lord can close her womb. He controls all things. And as I'm going through this, the intrusive thought, the anxiety, the spurts of depression, the going to the therapist, the seeing my primary care physician, to the psychiatrist, to today, I realized that I want to be in control and that I have surrendered a lot of things over to the Lord. But one thing I didn't surrender was my children. And I love this scripture, how Hannah positioned herself as a servant. And she's saying that if you give me a son, I'll give him back to you. Now, me wanting to be in control, I know that the Lord gave us our children. but I didn't give them back to him. And what I mean by that is I didn't surrender my children over to the Lord because I thought, since I want to be in control, I thought I can care for them better than he can. I can, I know what my children like to eat. I know kind of like their routine. I know how to show up well for them. I know, I know them. They're my babies. And yeah, the Lord is like, you have to give them back. In the past couple of months, that's what I've been dealing with, is saying, Lord, I trust you. Not only with our finances, right? Not only with my marriage, not only with my friends, not only with this podcast, not only with our business. Lord, I trust you with everything. And I give it back to you. Like you have blessed us with this podcast, I give it back to you. You've blessed us with our children, I give them back to you. And so I've held on to that. And through this ADHD diagnosis, Lord, I'm like, Lord, I know that this is how you made me, and I give it back to you. Like you are in control of how my body responds to ADHD, how I process things, just how I think through things, how my emotions, my feelings, like God, you are in control of all of that.
Yeah, I was trying to find the verse of how, we like to give good gifts to our kids, but how much more would it? We're not perfect.
Right,
We're
right.
sinful.
Yeah.
How much more would or better does our Heavenly Father give gifts because He is perfect
Yeah.
and gives them to us? And if our kids are childs of the Most High too, then they'll be the same. That's deep.
Yeah. Another thing was I had to realize that we are sons and daughters of God,
Yep.
and that he doesn't have grandchildren. He has children. And so if he can take care of you and I, he's going to take care of our children. He's going to take care of Deja and Dwayne. They're not his grandkids. That's his son and that's his daughter. And he's going to take care of them just as well as he takes care of us. So, yeah, I had to relinquish that control and surrender that over to the Lord and know that he's going to care for them.
How's that going?
Really good. I have
This-
to remind myself.
Right. The surrendering.
Excuse me. But it's going really good. I have to be intentional about reminding myself. Also going through therapy. My therapist helps me with setting boundaries with my control, but then also challenging me with things and then educating me in regards to control and what that actually means. I got a tick on my throat. Control means that I'm fearful of something.
Wanting to control it.
And so when it came to our children, I was fearful that no one else could care for them the way that I could. And so I didn't want to let that go. And that's, in the past couple of months, that's where the Lord has definitely been challenging me. Like, no, I've cared for you. I'll care for them also.
Yeah, it's as we grow up, and some of us grow up as not believers, right? And we get to a point where we do become believers. But before we're believers, we're enemy of God. right? And his grace, his common grace
Yeah.
falls on all of us. Um, him being God also allows him to know what, you know, what the future holds
Yeah.
for us and how he's going to use us
Glory.
for his glory and his good. That's a great word, for his glory. Yep. 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 So, anything else you want to say about how we got here, how you got here?
Yeah, I think just again going back to psychiatrist, and I've had a couple appointments since my first one, and processing through like how my brain works and what that looks like, and how the average person probably just thinks about one or two things. My brain doesn't work that way. I was explaining it to my dad yesterday on FaceTime, and I'm like exhausted and telling him how my brain works, where I'm constantly thinking of something that I have to do. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. And it's just exhausting. I think that as I started to, when I was meeting with my psychiatrist and she was talking about growing up, and fast forward till now, I started thinking about, man, I think I've been like this all my life. And to be fair, my parents were doing the best that they could. And I don't know if that was like common when I was young, if people were actually putting words to it, or again, females don't present themselves
Right.
like males do, like boys do. When you think ADHD, you're thinking super hyper, they're bouncing off the wall, they're jumping from couch to stool to whatever. I didn't do that. And even now, I don't do that.
I
Present,
still do that. I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
present day, what I have been doing is I've been high functioning. I have set so much structure in my life, structure and so many disciplines I've placed in my life so I wouldn't forget. I have reminder after reminder. I write things down. I'm putting it in my notes. I'm putting it on my calendar, blah, 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 like doing all of the things so I don't forget. And I did all of that. I've been doing all that so I can be successful in life, but also I didn't realize it until my psychiatrist was like, it's like I'm wearing a mask so people wouldn't find out that I have to do all these things. Like I just present myself as I'm organized. I like structure. I like operations. I do. I have to be super intentional about it in order to be successful. Does that make sense?
Yep. That's a lot.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's a lot. And I say that because I've seen you go through it, and the last, month and a half hasn't been easy for you or me. And it's been a lot of prayer, and it's not like you get to stop and just sit there in it. Like life keeps going on, and
It does.
the first of the month comes when the bills
Rent's
are due,
due.
rent's due.
Yeah.
Looking back, what were some of the signs you missed, and how did ADHD show up in school, work, relationships? Talk about like the perfectionism, the overfunctioning,
Oh
the
yeah.
never feeling at peace.
The perfectionism, the high functioning, just the exhaustion of always presenting myself in a certain way, and not having that freedom. Yeah. I think
The perfectionism I've seen a lot where you won't you won't let something be started or even go like it has to be perfect from the start. You don't like to build like, hey, the podcast could be here and then we can grow it to this. It's like it's got to be.
so that is one of the characteristics of ADHD. There is something called like paralysis, like where you have so many things going on and you just get stuck. You don't know what to do. You're totally overwhelmed and you just want to lay down. There's like a time blindness. I saw that in myself where I have to, again, have that structure. I got to set those alarms. I cannot trust my brain to remember things if I don't have an alarm. If I don't have something in my calendar, it doesn't exist.
Well,
And
I must be ADHD.
I diagnosed you.
Dr.
I think for as long as I remember, I've been this way. I did one assessment where it was talking about like schoolwork and blah blah blah, and like reading. I am not an avid reader. I can read. I just get bored. And it's
Do you
like
get bored or does your mind start going to other places?
it's a both and. Yeah. Just like finishing things, I get bored and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. One thing I do know is that ADHD does not equal laziness. It doesn't mean that I'm lazy. You will see some people that have ADHD where they're kind of unorganized, messy, lazy, maybe, if you will. I don't know. And I don't present that. Our house, my life is very neat and organized. But I've been like this. Like I've had to build up that discipline to do those things.
It's also a sense of control.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. In my life, as you say this, I'm going, I must be super HD. I had it. Used to have
Super HD.
super ADHD. We're just going to call it, it's going to be called HD for short.
Okay.
But I used to have a 25-page checklist for away games when I was working for the Redskins. Mm-hmm. And I said, I have to have this because if I don't, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and go, did I do that? Did I do that?
Yeah, I would do that.
And now I have a checklist so I can
Get it out your brain.
put a check mark beside it and it'd be like, nope, I did that. I did that. I did that. So I did it for home games. I did it for away games, and yeah. And one reason why I did it, so I could sleep. And sleep is important because if you don't get it, the ADHD, well, I said it right that time.
You did.
It goes to another level. Sleep is important.
Yeah. This week I had therapy on Monday. Mm-hmm. Monday we came back. Well, we came back Sunday. So Monday I was super exhausted. I needed to recharge from the weekend. And when I had my appointment before then, I wrote it down on my notebook when I was going to have therapy next. And I didn't put it in my calendar. So I slept through it. Woke up 3:00 to text messages. I had therapy at I think it was 11 or 12. Well, it wasn't in my calendar. So again, if it's not in my calendar, it does not exist. And I self-deprecated for a little bit. I beat myself up and I was just like, nope, Dari, you're going to show yourself some grace. I know what I have to do and I have to do those disciplines. Mm-hmm. And I believe that a lot of people are living with ADHD and high functioning, especially African American women, because we've had to perform, we've had to show up in spaces that We just had to show up in spaces.
Well, that's where
Yeah.
I was going to switch gears. It was going to be being a black woman with ADHD. Why did so many black women go
Undiagnosed.
undiagnosed? Yeah. I know you've been doing a deep dive, so.
I have. Well, I feel like sometimes it can present itself as anxiety. And some doctors will just write it off as anxiety and not really taking a deep dive into what the person or the patient is actually saying. Like, I having a psychiatrist and like really having people around me that are for me in regards to like my medical team, my therapist, my primary care psychiatrist, and all the things, they all present or show up in a holistic way where it's not just about medicine, right? It's about Jesus too, and therapy and medication. All the things. Yeah, I think just naturally being a black woman in 2025, or a black woman period, no matter the year, is stressful. And we have had to endure some things and not been taken serious for the way that we feel, or the treatment that is potentially could be needed, or the diagnosis that is needed. I think it's just been like downplayed and minimized and called anxiety or depression, and those are symptoms of ADHD.
You think there's any cultural or medical biases?
Well, so yeah, I can say historically in the black community, like mental health is like now it's becoming a thing where people are speaking about it.
Yeah, we're week six of our church, and I'm like one of two white people in our church. So, and they're talking about mental health all through.
Yeah, so mental health is a thing now, but historically in black
Right.
church or black communities, mental health was like, you don't have enough faith.
So there's still a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you don't have enough faith, you're not praying enough, blah blah blah, but no one is like, "Hey, you need Jesus and therapy and some medication." It's more just Jesus. You just need to pray.
So do you think more black women should do the deep dive, as you say, to see if they are ADHD instead of
Yeah. I
anxiety or depression?
yeah, I do. I think that
How do they do that?
well, you can talk to your general practitioner first, your primary care doctor or whatever first.
If they have a therapist, can they talk to the therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that. Get an assessment done. I've done 3 so far, 2, 3. And I have different traits, kind of like different forms of ADHD, where I just think, okay, I'm going back to I am fearfully and wonderfully made by the Lord. I am that this is the way that he made me. And let's figure out how to be successful and how to thrive in life with the brain that I have. But I definitely think that all women, if you are having symptoms that show up as anxiety or depression, go get checked out for real. Like, find a doctor that's going to take you serious. That's really going to listen to what you say.
Yeah.
That's not going to rush. And these 3 women that I have in my life, they don't rush me.
You don't want fast food
No,
doctors.
they're not treating me
You
like
want the
I'm
Ruth Chris doctors.
yeah. They're not treating me like I'm a number. They're really taking their time and talking to me and like walking me through this. Like they're taking me serious. And that's what I think a lot of black women are not taken serious.
How does that make you feel?
Grateful. talking to the psychiatrist when she was putting words to the way that I feel or the way that my brain works, how I've been thinking and feeling. Excuse me. It was freeing. I felt seen. I felt known.
Felt like you weren't crazy.
Yeah, like I didn't
Yeah.
have to carry this anymore by myself. And that I could surrender this too over to the Lord.
So what's happening now? Like we're not too far, but what since you've been diagnosed, but what have you learned? What tools? What do you have to have in place?
Oh man, like it's been so eye-opening. Like as I do things, I'm like, "Oh, this makes perfect sense. I understand why I do this." Like for right now, it's when I used to be so hard on the kids when they forget something. Or if you don't remember something. And I'm like, we go here all the time. How can you not remember how to get here? Or how do you not know where we are? Or
How do you not close the garage
yeah, like
door?
how are these? I'm sorry, I keep coughing. How do these things keep happening? And I have more grace for myself and for others. Oops. Because I'm like, if people haven't put the disciplines in place that I have, it's going to show up differently. Right? So you're going to forget things. You're like, I still forget things. You're going to do these certain things because you haven't put these disciplines in place. So it gives me, I extend more grace to you and our children. I'm like, hey, it's okay if you forgot. So I'm not as hard on them or even hard on them, period, where I'm just like, dog, I know what that feels like. I just forgot my therapy appointment. Shoot. Dang it.
Dadgummit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, the Lord says, "Come to me, all who are who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest."
Yeah.
Sometimes it says peace.
I feel like I've gotten both of those. I have peace. I have been able to rest. I have a clear like vision or depiction of myself now. It's just a lot of questions answered. I feel like right now. And it's really just made me embrace who I am and love who I am.
So, what do you think the future holds?
I don't know. Like I'm I don't know why I'm even thinking this. Maybe it's the Lord or maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I could see myself being a ADHD advocate, like presenting, doing keynotes or something like that. My introverted self, I could see
You could be
me,
a performing introvert.
yeah, I could see me doing that. I could see me doing seminars or breakout sessions or something like that in regards to ADHD and especially around African American women in high functioning and late diagnosis. Now, there are other ethnicities that are high functioning and being diagnosed late as well. Yeah. Not just African Americans, not just females, there's males
Yeah.
also.
Yep. I think I mean, with your deep dive, and I look at everything, I go, "Yep, that's me. Oh, yep, that's me. That's me. That's me." Like some people don't realize I can get 8 hours worth of work done in an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, listen. So,
I can run sprints.
well, I as I was diving into ADHD and how one of the characteristics is procrastination. So I don't consider myself to procrastinate.
Mm-hmm.
I say that I'm like a pressure cooker.
Yeah, I'm better under pressure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I
so
don't. I'm not a procrastinator.
I'm a pressure cooker, like a Instapot. You know how a pressure cooker or Instapot, they can get it done real quick and it's gonna be delicious. So I can get things done.
Diamonds are created under pressure.
I can get things done and it'll be marvelous, but it will be at the last minute and it will be marvelous.
Maybe it's because you're an introvert and you process through it, and then you go.
Well, I think that has something to do with it also.
Yeah.
I think it does. I think that it also, ADHD has something to do with the career path I've taken with being in operations, loving structure. I'm phenomenal at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do for my everyday life and for my job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think last I wanna help sum this up for people because we went a lot of different places. So if you could in your words, like, give us the signs to look for, so someone might, in case they need to check to see if they're ADHD or want to check to see if they're ADHD. And you could, now you could say this is for, you got to say this is for me. There's other things that maybe you need to look into. So give those about you. Um, Again, what you did to get help with your doctor, therapist, psychiatrist, and then the tools that you have in place.
Yeah, I think like some of the most common signs, and they vary, forgetting tasks that matter. Like, therapy mattered to me and forgot it because I wrote it down, but I didn't put it in my calendar. So I didn't get that notification. Losing things. Just feeling like the procrastination, feeling like you can't start a project because you're just overwhelmed and overstimulated.
Or needed to be, or the perfectionism. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the time blindness, the losing track of time, thinking that you have more time to do, I have more time, I can do this task. No, you don't. You really need to get in a shower and do your hair so you can go to church on time and not be 35 minutes late. Like, yeah, just paying attention to the things that you're doing, but then also if you're doing them in a sense like me, how I said the not remembering stuff. So I fixed that where I got to set all these reminders. I got to have the to-do list. I got to do all that. So what are you doing that may not look like ADHD, but it is?
Yep.
And you're exhausted
Yep.
and you're functioning, but not well. Yeah. Yeah. Find a great primary care physician.
Yep.
Find a great therapist. If you don't go to therapy, even if you don't have ADHD, go to therapy. Therapy is like insurance. It's like car insurance. Just because you go to therapy doesn't mean something's wrong. You're just going to prevent it or just in case, right? Like, go to process, to have someone to talk to.
We all got trauma.
Yeah, like
We all got.
go to therapy.
We all got something. The only difference between my house and the house next door is the address.
That's it.
They got something going on. We got something going on.
That's it. Yeah, so find a good therapist.
Yeah.
You may have to do a consultation with multiple therapists before you find the right one that clicks with you.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yep.
Find your person.
And what some of those tools that you have in place now?
Well, also
Oh.
get rid of the stigma of having a psychiatrist. I thought having a psychiatrist meant I am crazy. I'm going to be admitted into a hospital. Yeah. And honestly, some people may be admitted into a hospital.
Yep. But a lot aren't.
Yeah.
Most aren't.
Yeah. So just get rid of that stigma around that.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to have a psychiatrist. Yeah. The tools, man, the main thing with me, I don't think it's a tool, but what I am learning is just to be self-aware. Be aware of why I'm doing something
Yeah. That's
and
me.
then how I'm doing it.
That's me. Yeah.
But right now, I did start medication, and it has quieted my brain to the point that I don't have all these balls coming at me. I don't have all of these voices in my head, or I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, where now I'm able to think normally and just process through life with one thing on my mind, one or two things on my mind, and not 42, 55. Yeah. That's different because I feel like my mind is quieter.
Yep.
It's not as loud. And that feels weird right now. But also, I think it's normal. It's normal. It's weird for me because I've went 46 years with having 100 tabs open in my mind. And now there's only 1, 2, or 3. So it's quiet.
It's good. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 8, Paul's talking about his thorn in his flesh. And, it's just something in his life that he had to deal with. They never identified what the thorn in his flesh was, but it was something that obviously hurt or was hard to deal with. A lot of times I say my Crohn's is my thorn in my flesh and whatever. Yeah. He said, if you go back to verse 8, he said, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me. But the Lord said to him, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And then Paul says, therefore I will boast all the more gladly in my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me.
Yeah. Amen.
For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong.
Yeah.
And we're made strong by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And Christ in us.
That's good. That's good news. That's, again, it's freeing. I have, not that my outlook on life was bad, but I have a different outlook on life.
Yeah. It's always helpful as we get to know ourselves better.
Yeah.
And know who we are. It's
like
at this big age.
Yeah, yeah.
At this big age, we keep learning more and more about ourselves. I mean, you become more self-aware.
You do.
Your emotional intelligence is raised. So, when you're starting to get upset, you go, well, why am I even getting upset?
Yeah.
Right? I did get upset this week, and I was like, I said, bro, this is the way you do it. I'm copying the way you do it.
Yeah.
It's like, so I was just reminding somebody that I was like, this isn't the way I think is correct. I was like, we could change it up all day long.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, my my emotional intelligence was aware of the way I was feeling. So that's good.
One thing that I saw in myself and that I have to be super intentional about is interrupting people. Because with ADHD, you tend to, you got something to say, you're thinking, feeling a certain way, whatever, and you just want to blurt it out and you're not waiting your turn. So I have to be super intentional about waiting my turn and still listening to what the other person is saying and not being ready to just jump in.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to the other person that's talking.
Right.
And then you don't even hear them. Yep.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think we have to be in the habit of, hey, I really want to hear what you have to say. Let me write down something real quick. You know what I mean? Just
Yep.
I think if people were more real and raw about who they are, more people would understand. They accept them, and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, write that down. I know what I'm saying." So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Because I think, I know your heart is you want to hear what people have to say. It's not like you want to just blurt something out,
Right.
but also it's like, if I don't say it now,
I would forget.
It's gonna,
Yeah,
the next thought's going to come in.
that's right.
Yeah.
I have to be super intentional about that, and I'm getting better.
Yep.
I'm gonna show myself grace through this whole process. But I like who I am,
Amen.
and
I like who you are too.
I know you do.
I like who you is.
I like who I am, and I like where our marriage is. We've been together for a mighty long time. And over the years, our marriage has evolved into new marriages. And you throw in Crohn's disease, you throw in anxiety or depression, you throw in ADHD, you throw in this or you throw in that. And we have just stood by each other through it all. And I'm grateful.
Yeah. Since you took back host duties, you get to close us. I'm just going to sit over here and look pretty. I'm going to look lovely. By the way, this is my current wife, Dari.
Oh my gosh, he said that to like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Yo, what are you saying? Your current wife? What does that mean?"
My current wife, Dari.
Yeah, I'd say close us out. If you know someone that's high functioning that could potentially have ADHD and they don't know, share this with them. Be sure to like and comment if you have ADHD. What are tools that you use that could potentially help me? I'm open to just digging more into this. And I don't know. Like I said a little bit ago, I don't know what the Lord has for me. I don't know what this is going to look like, but I feel free. I feel hopeful, and I want to share it. So, yes, like, share, comment.
Subscribe.
With all your friends. Tell all your friends.
Put your alerts on. So you know when we have a new podcast coming out.
Yes, every other Tuesday. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.